The invisible trouble.
Sam was a mischievous boy who loved playing pranks. He would hide his sister Lily's books, switch sugar with salt, and make silly noises in class. His friends laughed at his tricks, but his family and teachers were often frustrated. One day, while exploring his grandfather's attic, Sam found an old wooden chest covered in dust. Curious, he opened it and discovered a small glass bottle with a faded label, "Invisible Drops, Use with Care." Sam's eyes sparkled with excitement. This must be a joke, he thought. But his curiosity got the better of him. He carefully opened the bottle and dipped his finger inside. As soon as he touched his nose, poof, Sam gasped. He looked down. His hands were gone. He ran to an old mirror in the attic. His reflection had vanished. "I'm invisible," he whispered in amazement. Sam couldn't wait to have fun with his new power. He ran downstairs and sneaked up behind Lily. "Boo!" he whispered in her ear. She jumped up, startled. "Who's there?" she cried. Sam giggled and pulled her chair back just as she was about to sit. "Ah!" Lily shouted, looking around in fear. "There's a ghost!" Laughing to himself, Sam ran outside to Mr. Jack's house. Mr. Jack was their grumpy old neighbor who always yelled at kids for stepping on his lawn. Sam tiptoed behind him and tapped his shoulder. Mr. Jack turned around confused. "Who's there?" Sam poked him again and let out a ghostly, "Woo!" Mr. Jack's eyes widened. "Ghost!" he screamed, running inside and locking his door. Sam rolled on the ground, laughing. This is the best day ever. But then, something felt strange. His body tingled. He looked at his hands. They were still invisible. He waited. 1 hour, 2 hours. Nothing changed. A wave of panic hit him. "Oh no, how do I turn back?" Sam rushed to the attic and grabbed the bottle, but the label was too old and faded to read. "What do I do now?" A thought struck him. "Grandpa, he knows about old things." Sam tiptoed into Grandpa's study. "Grandpa," he whispered. Grandpa didn't flinch. An invisible boy? I knew this day would come." Sam gasped. "You knew?" Grandpa chuckled. "That bottle belonged to me when I was your age. The effect lasts exactly 24 hours. Sam's mouth dropped open. "A whole day? But I can't stay invisible for that long." Grandpa leaned back in his chair and smiled. "Maybe now you'll learn that pranks can have consequences." Sam sighed. He spent the next 24 hours struggling. He couldn't eat properly. He couldn't talk to anyone. He couldn't sleep well. For the first time, he realized how lonely and frustrating it was to be unseen. When the next morning finally came, Sam looked down and saw his hands reappear. "I'm back," he shouted. He ran to Grandpa and hugged him. "I learned my lesson. No more pranks, at least not the mean ones." Grandpa smiled. "Good choice. Now let's go get some breakfast before you disappear from hunger." Sam laughed. He knew he would always remember this lesson. Being invisible wasn't as fun as it seemed.